itagat kora entitytab health watch ako embetab rani tagetestai kekere chametabkei nebo borto en ole kiyoe kasit ako kimiten ak Sharon. Now Sharon, we've talked about what corporate well-being means. How can a company improve the corporate well-being of its employees?
Okay, I think the first thing is actually to carry out an audit. I think that's the most basic thing, because you need to know whether what is the state of ill health in your company and amongst your employees. But it's not something you force employees to. It's also something that needs real communication within the company, where normally, actually, it has to be the managing director or the CEO and the senior management needs to drive this. But it needs to be driven in a way where you care about the employees, not just you want them to be healthy so that it's not just a matter of profit. It's also a matter of the well-being of the individual. So communication is quite key. So we start with a company, a corporate audit, the individual as well. We do proper assessments. We bring in a team of nutritionists and medical microbiologists. We also bring them in normally, not just to carry out tests, anthropometric tests and biochemical tests, but also to educate the company. Because you see, when you start by giving a talk, you frame everyone's mind. Because people need to understand why we are doing this and why it is important for you as an individual to become better, so that the company can become better. So we start with the talks, we start with the audit, and then the talks, and then we do the testing and work with these people for 3 months. 3 months where we actually keep on carrying out the assessments, but also help them with their nutrition, their sleep, simple strategies in terms of what you eat, in terms of sleep, in terms of physical activity, to find the time, because people say, I don't have time to exercise. But you need to be helped to find that time, because sometimes it's true you don't have the time. But when someone comes in, it is much easier for me to come and help you find the time than for you to find it yourself.
But at times it translates to the structures of the company as well.
Yes.
Do you also work with the management in
Yes.
changing the structures?
I don't think it really translates to the structures. Because you see, when you talk about the structures, you're looking now at, in terms of profitability, in terms of how the profitability of a specific department and whether things should be reshuffled and all that. I don't think it translates to that. It's really a matter of how the individual's health and well-being is contributing to the system. Now, if it comes out, or if one way or another, you go through the whole 12 weeks, and after the 12 weeks, you actually find that, okay, you know, I've been doing this, but I feel like I can, because part of it is to rid you out of that powerlessness and to give you your voice back. So if you find that now as an editor, you know, you feel like, okay, I'm an editor, but I think I can do much better than this. After the 12 weeks, we give you that voice so that you feel powerful enough to go and speak to your senior manager and say, you know what, I've actually been here for this long, and I think this is time for us to have a talk.
One or two.
Yes, let's have a talk. But it's that finding of the voice which is so linked to physical health and mental health, but we don't realize it. That's why one person can be in one position for 20 years. Amekuja ameona watu wakiingia wakitoka the whole time.
And that's okay.
So it's all a matter of knowing, where is this person's purpose? Is it aligned? You know, is this person actually in the right place in terms of their physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being? And if they are, good for the company. If not, how do we work with them so that they can get there? Yes.
Do you also look at the key, another key aspect, that is finance?
Finance is very important, very important, because you see, a company also needs to know whether they can actually afford, you understand? Afford in terms of, and when I say afford, it doesn't mean affording in terms of affording to the individuals. No, it's a matter of the budget. Because we all have to think about these things in terms of budgets, because at the end of the day, someone has to pay for it. But the programs are so varied You understand? They're salaried. One person who cannot afford the 12-week program can decide to do something for 1 month. And for that 1 month, work with us with a completely different budget. So it all depends. It's a conversation at the end of the day. But anyone who thinks they are saving money by not investing in corporate health should probably just get their finance person to calculate the loss from people being present but not present, and people being absent, and people just pretending to be working from home, yet they are not. Yeah. And then you realize the loss you're suffering is much more than the money you would spend if you were paying for corporate health, to make sure that the individuals coming in there are actually at the optimum best to perform as you expect them to. Yes.
So environment, a healthy people translates to a healthy business.
Completely.
Completely. Let's talk about COVID. It has come with so many problems. What has your experience been working with companies during this period? What is the situation like, especially when you talk about mental health?
I think it is right now. Firstly, I think we are still even going through the fatigue of what happened last year.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to remember that we are what we read, we are what we watch.
Yes.
Where your attention goes, your mind goes, your action go. But every day, especially when you think about when we have this, when we have the, what do they call them? I forget the word, the phrase, forgive me.
It's all right.
You know, like the third wave, the waves. When we are having the waves. And every day you're on Facebook, na huyu amekufa, na huyu amekufa, na huyu amekufa. These things have got such a bad effect on all of us. But the thing is, we can't ignore it, and we can't say we are all going through it. As a company, the company needs to know that it is upon them to actually take charge, because we cannot ignore the fact that people are stressed, they are anxious. There are people who are getting, what is it called? Anxious, what is it? Panic attacks. You can imagine that. Panic attacks.
Yeah.
But it's because we are watching so much strife on TV and everywhere else because of the situation. So
it's psychologically affecting us.
It is psychologically affecting all of us, but there are strategies to make it affect us less. And we have proven that there are actually strategies. At the beginning of COVID last year, in April, we got a fund from Vilgro Africa. They're a very big, a very, very lovely health accelerator in Kenya. And they gave us the fund so that we could support people living with diabetes or people managing hypertension through groups. And just by giving them everyday lifestyle strategies to manage what is happening. And what I've realized, and because we've done this for the past year, and you would be shocked, there are people who are being weaned out of medication. There are people who have saved about 4,500 shillings a month. You can imagine that. But simply by eating what is good for them, because there's nothing like eating right. Nothing like eating right. We say eat right, but I think that phrase needs to be reworked. There's eating right for your body and for your health. Because mtu ule akona tuseme chronic kidney disease is not going to eat at the same level as a person who has hypertension. You know? And if it's chronic kidney disease and hypertension, there are certain things that must be prioritized, nutrients must be prioritized over others. And so it's a matter of how do we calculate and optimize these nutrients so that they are good for your health and good for the next person. But because we use technology, it's quite easier for us and we do it well. But through eating well, exercising, making sure they sleep at the right time, having discussions in the group, having Q&As for learning, we realize that these people have just markedly improved. So it is possible to manage your thoughts, to manage your psychological well-being within the framework of COVID. I'm not saying it will be perfect, but it will be much better than worst. It will be good. It may not be perfect, but you will be better than where you currently are, for sure. Yes.
As we wind up, not everyone has gone back to the office. There are people who are still working in shifts, others are working at home full-time. So how can companies bring in this corporate well-being and help these individuals who are working at home?
We are running certain groups on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And you will be shocked to know that just that aspect of you wake up and someone says, good morning, have you done your 30-minute walk? Okay, you've done your walk, good. What are you doing today? What are your deliverables, you know? That aspect, because we are translating social now from the physical social to the online social.
Yeah.
But most companies have not translated it. They'll call you when they need something.
And they go directly to the point.
They go directly to the point.
Yeah.
So these niceties we used to have in the morning, how did you sleep? Uko sawa? All of it is gone. So the question is, because we can do these things, we can make sure people are physically well, because even with nutrition care, I do not need to see you to give you nutrition care.
Yeah.
No, I can send you to the nearest pharmacy that's next to you. They'll take your BMI, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can take your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and I can be your coach on phone, your coach on WhatsApp. So companies need to start realizing that there's much more work now to be done for corporate health than before. Watu wako nyumbani na ma-stress zao, watoto wamejaa huko, saa hizo you're expecting them to deliver on deadlines. The environment has changed. It's not like before when you could come and you act like you're no longer at home. No, it has changed. So we need to act more. We need to actually change what we are doing to make sure we can meet this changing environment in a way that is healthy for the individual and healthy also for the company. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
For
Karen.
people who are watching, how can they reach you?
It's very easy. You just go to lisheliving.com. Lishe is nutrition, so it is just Lishe, lisheliving.com, and you will find us there. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chitap kalenjin, kongoi missing, kaina nyungu Karen Cheriot. Ongeten e wiki nenyone astake much kengalal agobo mienda bortanyon, agole kimuche gerifke.